Hey everybody, welcome back to Mordheim, City of the Damned. And before we get into it, I'm just going to quickly go over everything that we've done off-screen with this warband before we start off. And so, with our leader, what I'm doing is I'm building up his agility at the moment, his leadership, because Skaven have absolutely awful leadership, and I'm mostly keeping his weapon skill and accuracy in line, and occasionally I'll put a couple of points into ballistic skill just to make sure he can hit the broadside of a barn. With our Night Runner, again, this time I'm increasing agility and mostly alertness, although I did put a point into leadership, because if the warband leader, the adept, ever goes down, the chances of the Skaven running off are very, very high. And while one little point isn't going to do that, with a cap of 10 it's not going to make much difference, I'm hoping that it will just give me the off chance to stay in the fight. At the moment all of his skills are currently balanced, but at the moment I'm working on weapon skill and accuracy, and eventually I'll start to put more points into accuracy than weapon skill. With my Verminkin I'm mostly doing agility and weapon skill and accuracy, and that'll be the same for him. With my Warp Guard, I'm putting points into strength and toughness, as well as some alertness and weapon skill. And what I'm trying to do with all of my characters, except for the Warp Guard, is try to balance it out so that they won't get hit as much. So at the moment I'm putting a lot of points into alertness, which allows me to hit sooner than my opponent, and agility, which will allow me to dodge a lot. With toughness, with my Warp Guard, I'm not going to try and put too many points in agility, but I'm going to make him tougher for when he does get hit. I'm also boosting his alertness, because in general, for me, I think that alertness is more important than leadership when we're talking about Skaven, except for the boss himself. And we've also got 3 new guys in reserve, so 1 Verminkin, 1 Warp Guard, and 1 more leader, which I'll swap in and out just so that he gets some skills. In fact, I think I'm going to swap him in for this one. He's not very well equipped, so we'll have to be very, very careful, but we're putting him in so that he can get some skills, and that we don't just rely on one specific adept to carry us through, because if for some reason the main guy dies, then we'll have to start from scratch when it comes to the leader, which will be very, very painful. So it'll be good if we have something kicking about in the back to make sure that we have a fallback position if that were to happen. Other than that, I sent off the shipment. We're waiting for the gold for that, and I trained the adept and the Night Runner with 2 skills. They both were given knowledge tactics, which increases their ability to dodge and to what's the other thing it does? I think it's that's a good question. Let me have a look. Skills, there we go. So it's, yeah, dodge and parry, which is great for the leaders to keep them alive. I've run next day already, so we can go straight into the campaign. We have 4 missions this time. One is average and poor, with both warbands being scattered. That tends to work in my favor as a Skaven player. We have a wide arc, which it's okay, but the rewards are terrible. We were given an actual mission, and I'm not going to take that on just yet, because our rating is slightly lower than the rating of the guys we'll be facing. And this one's hard. Hard with good rewards. I think we're going to take that one and take a bit of a chance. In that case, I will swap back the leaders so that we have our more experienced leader doing a hard mission. And we'll launch and deploy. Okay, so in this one, we've both my side and the enemy side has been scattered, and they are playing. Is that Witch Hunters? Yeah, we're facing up against Witch Hunters, so we are probably going to we could loot their stuff straight off the bat. Okay, so we're gonna loot their cart, and we're also going to gang up and try and tie up a lot of their guys quite early on. So without further ado, this is my Night Runner, so I'm going to immediately get him stuck in terrain. Charge him into combat with their hero. Ow. And we will go into a dodge stance, and hopefully he will not be able to continue to hit us like that. Okay. They are not as scattered as I had hoped. Okay. We can get him down quickly. We might be able to get him near a fight. Where is he anyway? Great. So we'll run him down. At the very least, we might be able to have it so that... good. I'm going to charge their boss. I mean, I'm probably not going to do much to him, but I might be able to hold him up for 2 turns with one of my... yeah, one of my verminkin, as they don't really matter too much to me. I've largely forgotten what the witch hunters have. I know they have flagellants. They have a witch hunter. Are those acolytes? I think they're acolytes. There's this guy. Okay. I'm not going to allow myself to get ganged up on like this, so I'm going to move him round, and I'm going to go and... yeah. I'm not sure what else I could have done there, but hopefully that'll allow me to get another guy around him and to assist my Night Runner quite quickly. I'm really relying on Skaven's innate ability to dodge to bail me out of this one. That's a shame. At least he missed. That's too much. I'm not going to be able to dodge, so I went too far. Okay. Good. So I took down an earlier video of mine that I did on Man of War Corsair, and the reason I did that is because I wasn't happy with the what I actually said in the video. A lot of it, while true at the time, was based on... do I or do I not? I'm not going to. Was based on, although correct at the time, I also said that the dev was quite quiet, and while it certainly looked that way at the face value of it, their website was quiet. Pretty much all normal ways of working out what a dev is doing was quiet. Although, to my disservice, I completely neglected to look at their Twitter account, which I didn't even know existed. This meant that I didn't see a lot of updates that they had been doing, or had been saying were in the works, and what has subsequently happened is they've actually done a significant amount of updates to Man of War Corsair. It has rectified some of the issues that I highlighted in the video, and while that would not normally be enough for me to go, okay, I'll do it again, it is enough in this case for me to actually revisit it, because on top of that, my failure to look at actually what they had done
a new round has started.
Help, because ultimately that was a failing on my part to see that they had actually been talking about the things they intended to do. Right, that's really bloody good. So hopefully we can just pin him down and knock him out before he actually has a chance to retaliate. So I will be doing it again. They have made a significant amount of changes, and it is actually turning out to be a decent game. Although I would not say that it is top-notch, and many of the issues I had with it, insofar as the graphics with it, are still true. They have rectified things like chaos being one of the first things that you encounter, and them not being actually that scary. They are now quite the opposite. You actually have to go quite a bit away from the starting area to find them, and now they're actually pack a real punch. There are a couple of things that still I find are a little bit garish, like starting out and immediately being able to pick up a mission which sends you up against one of the top tiered ships in the game, which killed me near enough instantly. So there are some things like that, but on the other hand, they have completely changed the towns now. I mean, that was literally done in an update which I noticed. I noticed in an update which had been done while I was recording footage for the new video on the subject. So there's a lot of stuff still going on, a lot of stuff that they're still putting together, and it is shaping up to be quite good. They have dealt with some of the bugs, although there are some graphics glitches, like odd black squares appearing on my screen, which only happens in Corsair, which isn't brilliant. They've also added many more races, and to their credit, oops, oh well, that's kind of what I expected to happen, but I hoped he would hold him up for at least another turn. Never mind. So they've introduced Skaven, they've introduced Siege and Nurgle forces, they've introduced Undead, although I've not come across them yet. They've rectified some of the ways that the ships can glitch through each other, and in fact you can't just board people when you get close enough. You have to be at a good point against the ship's sides in order to actually get on board. Oh, and they've also included, that's my phone going off, they've also included a change whereby
a new round
actually
has
go
started
on the enemy ships now. So it's not just a case of every time you try and do a boarding action, you end up... Oh, yes, there we go. Start again. You end up on your ship. You actually go across onto the enemy ship, which took me by surprise, because I was expecting that not to have changed. But as soon as we came into contact, and my guys started jumping over, I sat there, stood on my ship going, what the hell's going on? So it's looking good. That will come across in hopefully quite soon, next couple of days. And I'm going to do it slightly differently the way I do these Let's Plays, and actually script it, because I'm already sitting here stumbling over my words, which I'm not so happy with. But if I do it scripted, I can go back and I can change my audio, which I can't do with this. So hopefully it'll come across a bit better. So this is going okay. I hadn't wanted to get this tied down this quickly in this game. I'm hoping I can get away without losing too many more people, if you can call Skaven people. So yeah, I'm also just noticed while I'm doing it, my nose is slowly getting more blocked. So if I'm sniffing, or if if I'm sounding a bit more bunged out than usual, then yeah, that's why. Hopefully I can deal with the Flagellant and move swiftly onto ganging up on their boss. One of the things that I will be getting with these guys is the Skaven ability to swarm enemies, so that basically the more Skaven with that ability that you have in a fight will increase their ability to hit. It can turn really nasty if you can get 3 or 4 Skaven, all with this ability ganging up on one guy. The guy pretty much is dead. Nice. Other than that, not much more is going on at the moment. I'm still slowly slugging my way through painting Space Marines.
A new round has started.
I've been playing a lot of Stellaris. Stellaris is an odd game. Like, it's, I wouldn't call it a 4X as such, but it's a grand strategy space game, and I find it quite, I really enjoy it. But what I find with Stellaris is that I always end up building up, and getting to this point where there's 5 or 6 major powers, of which my guys will be one of them, and we're just stuck, stagnant. And then something like an ascendancy, like it's an event where an old race, which usually just sits there doing nothing, for most of the game suddenly explodes out and starts conquering stuff, and it's really difficult to control them. But I find that until you get to that point, you can reach this point where all is happening is just sitting there, pass the time, keeping your fleet up to date, and wondering what to do, because most of the people near me will be either my friends or my vassals, and I get stuck. And that's probably more on me than it is the game. Perhaps I'm not expanding quickly enough. I don't know. I'll probably do a video on that at some point as well. It might flow a bit better than the time. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I haven't really done... One of the things that I should do, rather, is probably do a full review of Mordheim, although doing this Let's Play series pretty much is me already saying that I enjoy the game. But there are some things about Mordheim that do frustrate me, and it certainly has been a game that has been long in development, and has had both ups and downs with what forms this game's taken. Because although the game has been exactly the same type of game as it is now, there have been many changes that they have made which have made the game much better than it was when it first came out, including things like the RNG. And the RNG is not a minor thing in this game. Everything you do is effectively a roll of a dice. And when I first started with Mordheim, I found that the RNG was dubious, seriously dubious, and they've gone with great strides to make it more fair, and things do flow better now. The only thing that I would say about Mordheim, which I would say is a fairly neutral thing for me personally, but it could be either something you like or you don't really don't like, given the way people view DLC these days, is every new race that is being put out is... I can't remember how much exactly it is, but it's a DLC that you have to purchase. It's not too bad. I think it's around the £5 mark, or maybe about $8, but it still mounts up after a while. Anyway, so I lost one guy, they lost 3, and yeah, I'm a bit worried as to the condition of some of my guys coming out of this. And I managed to secure absolutely no wordstone.
Bold warband is sneaky strong. Fetch find much wordstone. Filch will speak to Murder Lord. Tell him much. War.
Well, let's see if anyone actually got hurt. And that's lucky. He could have easily have died. Or lost a limb.
Nice progress.
Some more skill points.
Outstanding. New warriors are
Alright, so we now get a new
available
type of
for
hero, and I think that's going to be a sorcerer.
stronger.
So let's have a look. Yeah, not much wordstone, unfortunately, but it turned into a fight more than anything else. Now the problem I have is I actually spent so much money I can't even pay my guys. That's a problem. So I'm gonna have to get rid of a shipment quite quickly. I'm not gonna send it to my Murder Lord, because you can actually see that there's a fairly significant negative to sending stuff to him. So I'm gonna build up with the Cutthroats Den, because they provide me agility skills, although as and when I send stuff off, the percentage boosts and negatives will change. And it may be better for me to work with the Black Pit periodically. So with that, we'll hit next day, and hopefully... Right, I'm going to have to sit here and wait for some gold, and it's going to get worse every time. So this could be problematic, although I could probably sort some stuff out of the shops. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to sort this out off camera, and I'll see you next time.